Reading Diary of the Wimpy Kid, the third wheel. And this is actually going to be part 5. I'm going to see if I can read most of it today. Been pretty busy with work, so I couldn't read almost all of it. Sorry, guys. So these are going to be the pictures that we're looking at today. That looks really weird. And then look at that. So let's do this. I'm pretty nervous because it seems like there aren't really a lot of girls left to choose from this point. One girl who doesn't have a date yet is Erica Hernandez. She just broke up with her boyfriend, this kid named Jamar Law, who is famous in our school for getting his head stuck in a chair. The janitor even had to cut him free with a hacksaw. It's in the yearbook and everything. Sticky situation. Jamar Law gets a little help from Mr. Lewis after getting his head stuck in a chair during Miss Moran's art class. Erica is really pretty and nice, so don't ask me what she is thinking when she started going out with a doofus like Jamar. She would be at the top of my list for the dance, but I'm worried that if things worked out between me and her, I'd always be thinking about her ex-boyfriend, and I wouldn't be able to get past it. You may now kiss the bride. The Erica Hernandez situation has made me wonder what other girls might have a Jamar Law in their past. It's hard to keep track of who has gone out with who in my school, and that's important information when you're looking for a date to the dance. So I drew up a chart to see how everyone in my grade is connected. I've still got a long way to go, but here's an incomplete version. The person I'm worried about is this boy named Evan Whitehead. I've heard he's bragging. He kissed a bunch of different girls in my grade. But last week he got sent home from school because he had the chicken pox, which I didn't even know you could still get anywhere or anymore. So who knows how many girls Evan infected. One girl I'm pretty sure Evan never kissed is Julia Weber, because she has been going out with Ed Norwell since the 5th grade. But I've heard their relationship is a little shaky these days, so I'm gonna do what I can to help speed things along. You can do better than him. Tuesday. Uncle Gary told me that if I wanted a girl to go to the dance with me, I'm gonna have to ask her face to face. I've been trying to avoid that, but I think he's probably right. There's a girl named Peyton Ellis who I've always kind of had a crush on, and when I saw her drinking from the water fountain yesterday, I stood there waiting patiently for her to finish. But Peyton must have seen me out of the corner of her eye and realized I was going to ask her to the dance. So she kept drinking and drinking while I stood there like a dope. Eventually, the bell rang and we both had to go to class. I barely know Peyton, so maybe it was a bad idea to try to ask her anyways. I realized I should probably stick with girls who I've got some kind of connection with. The first person to come to my mind is Bethany Brienne, my lab partner in science, but I don't think I've made such a good impression on Beth Ann. We're in the middle of our anatomy unit, and for the past few days we've been dissecting frogs. I'm pretty squeamish when it comes to that sort of thing, so I just let Bethany do the dissecting. Well, I stand on the other side of the room trying not to throw up. Gag, gag, gag. Seriously, though, in this day and age, I don't know where we're still cutting open frogs and see what's inside of them. If somebody tells me there's a heart and intestines inside a frog, I'm willing to take their word for it. I am pretty happy I got paired up with Beth Ann as a lab partner. I remember back in elementary school, whenever the teacher picked a boy and a girl to do something together, all the other kids would go crazy. Would Peter and Lisa please clean the whiteboard? Woo! When I got picked to be a lab partner with Beth Ann, I was hoping for some kind of reaction for the rest of the class, but I guess everyone's outgrown that stuff. Woo woo, right guys? Even though I haven't impressed Beth Ann with this dissecting skills, I still thought I might have a shot with her. I don't want to brag or anything, but I have been a pretty hilarious lab partner. Look at me, hee hee hee. At the end of the day yesterday, I walked up to Beth Ann when she was getting her coat out of her locker. I admit I was a little nervous talking to her, even though we spent 45 minutes every day as lab partners. But before I got a single word out, I started thinking about the frogs. So I don't think it's going to work out between me and her. Yeah, gag, gag. Last night, when I was telling Uncle Gary about what happened at school, he said my problem is that I'm trying to do this on my own and I need a wingman to help me look good in front of the girl, so it's easier to ask one out. Well, I think Riley would be a perfect wingman for me because he makes me look good just by being himself. Whoa! Clumsy. Today, I asked Riley to be my wingman, but he didn't understand the concept, so I told him it's just like being a campaign manager, but for the dance. Riley said maybe we could be each other's wingman to help each other get a date to the dance, but I said we should do this one person at a time. I feel like we need to get my situation taken care of first because getting Riley a date out to the dance could end up being a long-term project. We gave the wingman thing a trial run at lunch, but I think there's still a lot of room for improvement. I heard Greg Heffley has really strong muscles. Thursday. On the walk home from school today, Riley told me he heard from a girl on the dance committee that Alyssa Grove just broke up with her boyfriend and is looking for a date to the dance. See, that's exactly why I made Riley my wingman. Alyssa is one of the most popular girls in my school, so I was going to have to act quick before one of the other goobers in my class got her. When I got home, I called Alyssa's number right away, but no one was there. The answering machine picked up really fast, and the next thing I knew, I was leaving a message. Yes, this is Greg Heffley speaking, and I'm calling regarding, I hit the pound key on the phone so I could delete my message and start over, but the second message wasn't that great either. Hello, this is Greg Heffley, and I'm trying to reach Melissa to see if she would be interested in... Dang it! I must have recorded 20 messages because I wanted to get it just right. But Riley was in the room with me trying to stay completely silent, and whenever I looked at him, I just completely lost it. Hello, this is Greg Heffley, and after a while, me and Riley were just totally having fun and goofing around. Hello, this is Riley Jefferson, and I'm calling on the behalf of Snarf. I knew there was no way I could leave a serious message while Riley was at my house, so I deleted the last one and hung up the phone. I figured I might as well just wait until tomorrow morning to talk to Alyssa in person. But what I didn't know was that hitting the pound key didn't delete my message on the Groove's voicemail system the way it does on ours. So after dinner tonight, there was a knock on the door, and it was Alyssa's father. Mr. Grove told Dad that me and my friend had about 20 prank messages on his machine, and that he'd appreciate it if we'd never call his house again. So I guess I'm gonna have to scratch Alyssa off my list. Monday, Uncle Gary told me if I really want to send a right signal to girls at school, I might consider updating my wardrobe. He said that wearing a new shirt or new shoes always makes him feel more confident, and it might work for me too. The thing is, I really don't have a lot of new clothes. I'd say about 90% of everything I wear is hand me down from Roderick. Mom would say that the exaggeration, but all you have to do is check the tag on my underwear for proof. I would never really cared much about what I wore, but now Uncle Gary has me wondering if my wardrobe was holding me back. This weekend, I asked Mom if we could go out and get me some new jeans and shoes so I could really look sharp at school. But the minute I said it, I wish I could take it back. Mom gave me a long speech about how kids in middle school focus too much on their appearances and how we spend half of our time on academics that we do on deciding what to wear. Our country wouldn't be ranking 25th in the world in math. I should have known Mom would run out and buy me a whole bunch of new clothes. In fact, when Mom was on the PTA, she started pushing for school uniforms because she read some article that said kids who wore uniforms do better in academics. Luckily, she didn't get enough signatures, but word got around that my mom was the one who started the school uniform petition, and there was a stretch of a few weeks where I had to wait a half an hour at the end of each day before I could safe to walk home. Since Mom wouldn't take me out clothes shopping, I decided to start poking around the house to see if there's anything cool I could wear. I started by going through Roderick's dresser drawers, but I don't think we have the same taste when it comes to clothes. Uncle Gary told me I should look at Dad's closet because some things grown-ups have vintage stuff that looks cool. I've never seen Dad wear anything cool in my whole life, but I was willing to give it a try. I'm glad Uncle Gary gave that tip because, believe it or not, I found exactly what I was looking for in the back of Dad's closet. It was a black leather jacket. I've never seen Dad wear it, so I figured he must have bought it before I was born. I had no idea Dad owned anything that cool, and that it kind of made me see him in a whole new light. I put it on and went downstairs. Dad seemed pretty surprised to see his old leather jacket, and he said he bought it back when he was first dating Mom. I asked Dad if I could borrow it, and he said he didn't need it anymore, so it was okay by him. Fortunately, Mom wasn't so bored with the idea. She said the jacket was way too expensive for a middle school student to wear, and that I might damage it or lose it. I told her that wasn't fair because it was just sitting in the closet gathering dust, so it didn't really matter if something happened to it. But Mom said the jacket sent the wrong message, and that, besides, it wasn't a winter coat, so she told me to put it back in the upstairs closet. But when I was in the shower this morning, I just couldn't stop thinking about how awesome it would be to wear that thing to school. I knew it could probably sneak out of the house and put it back in the closet later without Mom even noticing. So while she was feeding Manny breakfast, I went upstairs, grabbed the jacket, and slipped out the front door. Here comes the airplane. The first thing I have to say to Mom was right about the jacket not being a winter coat. That thing didn't have any sort of lining, and halfway to school I was starting really to regret my decision. My gloves were in my winter coat at home, and my hands were freezing, so I shoved them in my pockets of the jacket, but there was something in each one. There was a really cool pair of Avatar sunglasses in one of the pockets, so that was a bonus. And the other, there was those picture strips you get at the photo booth at the mall. At first, I didn't recognize the people in the picture, but then I realized it was Mom and Dad. I really wish I haven't seen that right after eating breakfast. Gag, gag, gag. When I got to school, every head turned in my direction and walked down the hall. In fact, I got so much attention that I decided to keep the jacket on the rest of the day. I felt like a whole new person in homeroom. A few minutes before the bell rang to start the day, there was a loud knocking on the little window in the door. I just had a heart attack when I saw who it was. Pound, pound, pound. When the teacher opened the door, Mom walked straight into my desk, made me hand over Dad's leather jacket in front of everyone. Told Mom it was too cold outside for me to walk home without a jacket, so she gave me her winter coat to wear. Sorry, guys. Okay. I wasn't too happy about the situation, but at least I was warm on my way home. Wednesday. By now, everyone at school has heard about the guy whose mom made him wear her winter coat. So this was going to make it a lot harder for me to find a date to the dance. That's why I've decided my best shot is to take someone who doesn't go to my school to the dance. And I think I found the perfect place to look. Church. I've heard that the students at the church school think the kids who go to public school are pretty tough. So when I run into one of my friends at church, I make sure to play it really cool in front of the church kids. What's up, bro? I'm just chilling. Recently, Mom has become friends with Miss Stringler at church because they both worked on the fall fair committee. The Stringlers have 2 kids who go to church school. A boy named Wesley and a girl named Laurel. I've never actually seen Wesley, so he must be down in the basement with the other kids during church. A few nights ago, Mom invited the whole Stringlers family over to our house for dinner this Friday. I think she's hoping Manny and Wesley will click and Manny can be friends with a real live person for once. But I can see a real opportunity here for me. Laurel is in my grade. She's better looking than most girls in my class. So this dinner could really change my fortunes. Friday. Mom spent a lot of time getting the house ready before the Stringlers came over, and when I took a look around, I realized I'd better pitch in too. There was an embarrassing thing all over the place. First, for starters, we still had our Christmas tree up in the living room. It was too much work to dismantle it, so me and Dad just shoved it through the garage. There were diapers taped on all the corners of our family's room furniture that we left over from when Mom baby-proofed the house after Manny started crawling. She used packeting tape to hold the diapers in place, and that wasn't easy to get off. Uncle Gary was on the couch in our family room taking a nap, so we had just to cover him up with a sheet and hope nobody would go in there and sit. Next was the kitchen. There was a bulletin board on the wall with different certificates and ribbons that Mom has given us kids over the years. Everything with my name on it was really lame, so I took it off of the wall and hid it in the pantry. Good boy, award for hereby given Gregory May 1st for cleaning his plate without being asked. Homework without tears, Gregory. I can dress myself, Gregory. By the time the Stringlers showed up, we'd taken care of all the major stuff, but the visit got off really shaky start. You remember how I said Manny was afraid of some kids at church who act like a vampire? Well, it turns out that kid was Wesley Stringler. So, any hope Mom had Manny making a new friend was completely out of the window. Manny skipped the dinner and spent the rest of the night hiding in his bedroom, which I wished I could have done because Mom had made a fancy meal to impress our guests. It was a cream of mushroom chicken with asparagus on top. I know asparagus is supposed to be really good for you, but to me, it's like a kryptonite. I didn't want to look unsuffocated in front of Laurel, though, so I decided just to close my eyes, plug my nose, and choke it down. The grown-ups talked about politics and stuff that wasn't all that interesting to me, and Laurel just sat there and listened. And that is the end of part 5. I will see you guys in the next part, and have a good day. Bye.